Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077. Well, more precisely, we will cover the role of a Netrunner. In my previous videos, I covered the roles of a techie and a solo. If you missed that, I suggest you check it out, and the reason for this is to bring the class system closer to people, and to analyze things we can expect from the gameplay and mechanics that could potentially benefit that class. So first off, unlike solos and techies, Netrunners focus on hacking. One thing which makes them stand out is the ability to have cybernetically augmented interface system implanted in their body. So you are a computer in itself, so you initiate those hacks from yourself, from your system. They generally roam the net, which in Cyberpunk 2020 was a whole nother space where you go in and just search for stuff, generally information that you can later sell to a third party or give it to a person who hired you, usually a fixer. The problem with 2077 though is that after the Fourth Corporate War, the net was almost completely destroyed, and what was left of it had a barrage of viruses and daemons that would fry you if you try to enter. That's why now Netrunners have to physically be at a location to hack something and cannot access that particular server through the net from a safe distance. You have to plug into someone's network directly. Now, there is a way to enter the net, like we saw in the Cyberpunk 2077 deep dive demo, especially because that data fortress that they're in has a black wall. And behind the black wall are rogue AI, and one of them is probably Alt Cunningham, wink wink, and Voodoo Boys, that we already met in the deep dive demo, are trying to actually access those AIs and get in contact with them. They are primarily a Netrunners gang. On the other side, you have Netwatch, which is like the cyber police, and their goal is to stop anyone from going through the black wall, because they're afraid if those rogue AI things come out, they will cause havoc throughout the net. They basically monitor your activity on the net, and if you're doing something illegally, the Netwatch is coming for you. One classic Netrunner we saw in the Cyberpunk 2077 was T-Bug, who is working for Dexter Deshawn. Now, in the third Cyberpunk trailer, we saw how T-Bug tried to hack us, and that's actually possible to do in the game. As we saw in the E3 demo, you take one of the Maelstrom guys out and you use his neural sign to go inside their network. And after that, everything that network is connected to, like cameras, turrets, vending machines, you can use that for your advantage as you play. But we will get to that in a second. As we saw, you got connected to the All Food Factory system and their personal files. I am sure there will be different notes here that could be useful for you, like hidden items, so always read everything you come across. And once V was actually connected to that system, you can see we can make certain changes to the squad, but also focus on quick hacks on humans, like jamming their rifle and then attacking. Keep in mind, you can be hacked too. So as you play, if there is a skilled Netrunner you're up against, or you pissed off Netwatch, they will be coming after you. Like for example, when we were fighting Sasquatch, Netwatch actually tried to hack us. We saw that because our system was passing out, there were notable glitches, and Placide from the Voodoo Boys actually was fighting for us to repel that virus from inside of our system, because once that virus is in, you are fried. So deploying viruses and receiving them will be your forte if you choose this class, and the reason for that is because everything is connected to the net, even the guns who are probably connected to the person holding it, so both augmentations and some weapons can be hacked because they are connected to that system. Now, to go back to environmental hacking, Netrunners are usually more silent than solos. Keep in mind, you are not a tank, you cannot take that much damage, so you have to use your ability as a Netrunner to sneak around or take out enemies really fast. Different upgrades for abilities gives you more options as you play, like we saw hacking a bench press, vending machines, cameras and turrets that on a low level you can turn off, but on a high level you can turn that against your opponents or just causing an entire havoc of problems so you can just sneak past them. But generally, unlike solo, you want to stay behind and let the viruses do things for you. In our skill tree menu, we have hacking as a skill that can go up to 9 and have 5 nodes we can upgrade. Again, this is a work in progress. We don't know how much of it is going to stay in the game or how much is it going to change. Because we have a Night City Wire coming up, so I'm working on the things I know about and that are currently present. Now, skills unlock different daemons you can use, and daemons are programs that have other several programs in themselves and can be used to hurt people. Different programs, different ways to do it. In the deep dive, you go after an animal gang member with a pin puller or a lead jammer, where if you breach him, his entire body goes boom, causing massive explosion. And that's why, even as a Netrunner, don't think you are less dangerous than a solo. It's your playstyle that has to change a bit, but still, it looks fun, especially because everything around you is potentially hackable. Also, we saw a bit of hacking. The better you are, the more things you can unlock, and this will be a way to do it. But again, even this design is not final like we saw in the 45-minute demo, like we saw in the deep dive demo. It might change in the final build of the game, but the outline is the same. You hack people and you hack different things around you to fulfill your objective. And as we saw in the gameplay, a Netrunner build would have body 4, intelligence 9, reflexes 4, technical 7, and cool 9. Of course, you're gonna be cool. This class is probably the best for stealth just because of how many things you can actually weaponize and turn against your opponents, especially coming, from a distance in a sense. And if you want to achieve that, it's through this class. But hey, that's all we know about the gameplay elements and the class of a Netrunner. Keep in mind, on June 11th we have the Night City Wire. I will be going live through the entire day to cover that, so stay tuned by clicking that like and subscribe button and tell me down below, what class are you going to play and what do you think about Netrunners in general. Also join our growing community on Twitter and Discord, and if you want an extra way to support the channel, I made a Patreon page. This can help me to make more high quality videos. And huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and as always, stay classy everyone, bye bye.